represents North Carolina, who was a guest on this show last night, is apologizing now for saying there were riots in Charlotte because the protesters, quote, hate white people. Joining me now exclusively to explain is Congressman Robert Pittenger of North Carolina. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us this evening. You doing okay?
Yes, sir.
Good evening. I want to start with something that you told the BBC earlier today about why we're seeing these protests, what their grievances are. Here it is.
The grievance in their mind is the animus, the anger. They hate white people because white people are successful and they're not. I mean, yes, it is. It is a welfare state. We have spent trillions of dollars on welfare, but we put people in bondage so that they can't be all that they're capable of being.
You care to explain your comments, Congressman?
Well, thank you for this opportunity. You know, I agree for my city. I love Charlotte. Wonderful people. I know many pastors in the African-American community, and I trust and support them so much. And I am hurt by what's taking place. And frankly, I apologize for the comments. They certainly weren't meant in the context of how many have viewed them. My concern, frankly, is for the disfranchised individuals. And those, frankly, I was quoting, is what they were saying last night that I observed on your network, and their hatred for white people. And that saddens me greatly.
You believe the protesters hate white people?
No, sir, it's what the comment that they made. I think you'll go back and look at the tapes. The comments that they made on air. And
you mean the protesters made on air?
Yes, sir. I was only trying to convey what they were saying, and yet it didn't come out right, and I apologize. I have many dear friends in the African-American community, and those, frankly, and my colleagues in the United States Congress. And I've gone to them tonight and really apologize to them, because that certainly is not the spirit of who I am.
Well, let's walk through what you said. You said they hate us because we're successful. They hate white people because white people are successful. How is that taken out of context, with all due respect?
Sure. Well, I think what I'm trying to communicate was that what has occurred with the economy has left them out. When you look, frankly, at the last 8 years of the current economy, the demographic group who has moved the least up the economic ladder are low-income minority people, and that's the reality. That's a fact. So, you know, my desire is that every individual would have the right for an opportunity economy. That's what America's about.
You understand that the facts and the statistics show that over the last, of course, you know, we were in one of the biggest economic downturns in history, but it shows that African Americans are doing better when it comes to unemployment. It's been cut in half, and it's better than any other time in history. So the facts don't really jibe with what you're saying. African Americans and minorities, of course, are always hardest hit whenever there's any type of downturn. Do you understand that?
Sir, respectfully, I would say to you that we're growing at only at 1.3% economic growth.
That's for everyone in the country, though. That's not just for African Americans.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's bad for all of them. But when you look at the studies, and the studies are valid, that the group that has grown the least economically, and this is a broad number of economists who have conveyed this, have been low-income minority people. But, you know, we're only creating maybe average of 170,000 jobs a month over the last 8 years. And we can do much better than that. Well, we are burdened down with regulations that restrict our economy. It restricts job growth. You know, I was on a community bank board for 10 years. I'm on financial services committee now. And small businesses today can't get credit. They can't get capital. And they can't grow. They can't create jobs. And that used to be the large measure of new jobs created in this country. And so when you can't grow a bigger pie, it hurts everyone, but disproportionately, frankly, it has hurt the African-American community more.
Well, it is African-American community. African-Americans have always been at the bottom of the economic realm, even with 43 other presidents and in other administrations. That's just because of the history of this country. I would encourage all of our viewers who are watching to do their research and look at the facts and the numbers, and not just to rhetoric that happens on the campaign trail or because of ideology.
No, sir.
But I would have to hang on. I don't want to argue with you about the numbers. I understand that. And listen, I have to respect at least that you're coming on to discuss this. So let's talk about, you also said that we're in a welfare state. That sort of language is offensive to African Americans as well. What did you mean by that?
Well, I mean that we've spent, since 1965, around $20 trillion. We have 80 separate welfare programs that cost about $800 billion a year. And we have restricted the life and the opportunity of many people because we have provided programs that don't allow them to grow and be who they can be.
Do you say that same thing to white people who are on welfare? Because there's a large number of white people who are on welfare as well.
Yes, I would say that. I think the entire welfare programs need to be reviewed and reformed.
Okay.
And
so let me ask you, while I have you here, what would you say tonight in order to correct the record and change your message? Was this a learning point for you at all? What do you want to say to the people who are watching?
Well, I love my community, and I am very sorry for the way of how I said what I said. My desire is that everyone could grow up the economic ladder and have experience the greatest benefit of the American opportunity. And so I've come on the air just to apologize in every way I can, to say that the way I've said it and how it's communicated wasn't the best way, it wasn't the most appropriate way, and I apologize.
As a leader, what are you going to do to fix that? Because words can be hollow sometimes. There has to be action behind
I appreciate that. Well, that's what we're about. We have reforms we call A Better Way, and I hope that viewers will go and they'll look at A Better Way, because we provide reforms we feel like can change this country and give opportunity for everybody, no matter where they are on the economic ladder or whatever the racial involvement is. We want everyone to succeed and be all that they can be in this country.
Congressman Robert Pittenger, thank you. I appreciate you coming back on.
Sure. Good to be with you.
We'll be right back.